Hey YouTube, Rider Zero here today with a new review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the next figure in the line of Movie Masters from the Green Lantern toy line. This is the figure for Tomar Re. As you saw, Tomar Re in the movie was a very important member of the Corps. He actually is one of the trainers, not in the same sense as Kilowog, but kind of an introduction into the Corps. You know, he helps with the new recruits and whatnot. Kind of an unfamiliar character, I would assume, to most. So, brief little background on him. He appeared, his first appearance was in issue number 6, and he is actually from the race known as the Zidarians from planet Zudar, sector 2813 to be exact. He was, like I said, he was a pivotal member in the Corps. He helped train some of the new members like Aricia, and also was part of the investigation that discovered Sinestro was abusing his powers, which, you know, eventually led him being expelled from the Corps. But enough about that. This character, like I said, he was in the movie, voiced by Jeffrey Rush, who you'll probably know as Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. Kind of jumping right into the review of the figure, you'll notice there that there's no packaging. If you watch my first review on the Hal Jordan figure, I pretty much explained that I'm not going to show the packaging for most of the characters and most of the figures because it's all the same, and there's really no point in showing the same package over again. So once we get down into the next waves of figures, if there's any change, I'll show those, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. So just jumping right into it, taking a look there, you'll see the only accessory that he comes with is the base that he's standing on. Unfortunately, it really doesn't do a whole lot for the character, or for the figure, I should say, because this guy is a pain in the ass to get to stand up. And, well, we'll get to that later. We'll go ahead and just kind of take a look real quick at the detailing on the figure, which is very nice, to be honest. I was really impressed with these figures. Aside from the humanoids like Sinestro and Hal and Abensor, the alien races all have completely different molds, completely different sculpts, which is fantastic. I'm a big fan of originals rather than them being repainted over and over, kind of like the DC Universe line, which, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's pretty cool to get something fresh like this for each toy rather than, you know, only being one new toy from a set or whatnot. So taking a look at it there, the head sculpt is very nicely done. It looks pretty much identical to the movie counterpart, which was probably pretty easy for them to pull off since he was all CG in the movie. The only thing that kind of bothered me at first was the nose, because the mouth isn't very defined under the nose. I don't know if you can pick that up there. Initially, when I looked at the figure, I thought like the big black spot was actually his mouth open, like he was yelling at something. And then as I kind of looked at more of the detailing on the face, you can kind of see a little bit of a mouth line there. So I wish they could have added some more definition to the mouth, but it's not a huge setback. Overall, though, the figure is very nicely sculpted. Sticking true with the first figure, you see the Lantern logo there on the chest is raised rather than being painted up, meaning, of course, it was actually molded into the figure. It has that, I don't want to say alien, even though that's pretty much what it is, texture to the figure overall. It's almost like a scale, I guess you could call it, but I don't really think it's fair to call it scales because Hal Jordan's character figure looked the same way. So it's just, I don't know, I guess we'll call it scales for lack of a better word, but the coloring overall is very nice. The head is pretty much the only thing different. So far, most of the Lantern characters seem to carry pretty much the same color, starting, you know, with a metallic green color, a lighter shade that fades into that kind of matte green color, a really darker color of green, and then going down into the metallic color again with the boots and the feet and whatnot. Detail-wise, though, like I said, again, it's very nicely done. It's a very nice head sculpt. Again, the Lantern logo is raised. Even the ring actually has a nice little bit of detailing on it. It was a little easier for him, I guess, to get the ring right on these figures versus something like the DC Universe figures, because most of the DC Universe Lanterns, their rings are actually circular, where these are actually kind of almost just like the symbol. So you can see there it is. You know, you can make out the detailing there on the actual ring, so it's not just like a blob of plastic there stuck on the fist. And that's pretty much it for the detailing. The paint scheme pretty much carries all over the figure. Next, we'll take a look at the articulation. The articulation is pretty nice. You get a You get full rotation there on the head. It doesn't move up and down, unfortunately. There is a little bit of play in it, but it's from force, not really from the actual joint being able to move. You get the standard shoulder rotation, 360 degrees. It raises up and down there like that. This one carries over the same kind of arm and leg joints that the Hal Jordan figure had. It does rotate there at where the bicep kind of meets into the shoulder, and then it also rotates here at the elbow as well. Hinge joint there on the elbow, full rotation there on the wrist joint, and then it moves backwards and forwards there as well. Same thing over here on this hand. You get the exact same movement, so we won't go over that. He has a really, really articulated chest here. You can see that, going from a straight back, he goes forward pretty far. And then there's no actual waist. It's just there at the chest. And moving down here, you get the same standard movement that you got with the Hal figure. The legs go out to the sides like that, forwards and backwards. Same joint at the knee there. It bends to about right there. And then it also twists, just like the Hal Jordan figure. No articulation at the ankles, probably due to his alien feet. The only real complaint that I have about this figure is, like I said before at the beginning, it's hard as hell to get it to stand up. Pull it back into focus a little bit there. Unless you're using the base, it can be really difficult due to the way that the feet are made, because the only part that you kind of get touching that's flat is just like this part of the foot there. So it makes for kind of a pain to get it to stand. Which luckily, that's, I guess, why they included the stand here. But even with the inclusion of that, it still is kind of hard to get it to stand up. I've had to set this thing back up. I couldn't tell you how many times, because I'll get it balanced and set it up, and it's all fine and dandy. And then an hour later, I'll come back to my room, and boom, he's laid over on the desk. But other than that, I really can't complain about this figure. Like I said, I'm really, really impressed so far with all of the Movie Masters figures that I've seen. I have 4 right now, including the one from the Aubin Sur 2-pack. Actually, 5, I'm sorry. Which you'll see those later on as well. But I can't say enough how impressed I am, and it kind of makes me sad that they're not moving as well as I'd hope they would. I've even heard some rumors that there's a possibility that you may only be able to find future waves online, that they may not even get all out to retail stores, which is a disappointment, because, being a huge Green Lantern fan, I was excited that they were going to have some nicely done Green Lantern figures that, represented the characters from the movie, which I thought was pretty good as well. So, I think that pretty much covers it for this review. I hope I didn't miss anything or leave anything out. I don't think I did. It's pretty straightforward for these guys. But yeah, if Toys R Us had them on sale, I definitely think they're worth picking up if you're a Lantern fan, if you like the movie. So far I haven't had any disappointments with any of them. So definitely check these out. I think it's well worth picking up, and I think you'll be happy with them. So that's pretty much going to do it for this. Hope you enjoyed the review. I want to give a quick thanks to all the subscribers. I finally did hit 300 subscribers. Also got an invitation for some new revenue sharing program that YouTube's doing. It's not full-on partner, but it's pretty close. So big thanks to everybody again for subscribing. Watch all the videos again if you feel like it. Don't forget to check out Riders, Rangers, and Rambles for all the latest news on Toku in the craziest way possible. And don't forget to check out the Ram boards. And you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/RiderZero. So that's going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Take care.